Portland making their last shot. The offensive rebound. Here's Allen. And the layup's good off the glass.
Really getting after it on the offensive boards, adding to his early total with that putback.
Blake passes to Barton. No good on the triple. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a win against the 76ers.
That was a heck of a performance for them offensively. There were some stretches there where it just seemed like everything was falling for them.
And it wasn't by accident they shot it that well. Their ball movement was excellent. That was the key to me.
And that is good.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, that's 3 of the last 5 makes, having been behind the three-point line. So, got to make some adjustments defensively.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. McCollum kicks to Blake. Pass to Robinson. Wins it up from 12. And it's good off the back rim and in.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Hill dishes to Sloan. From deep. Can't hit. Here's McCollum. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Trailblazers.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And they're sharing the ball, too, which I love. They're piling up the assist. We're seeing great offensive movement.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Indiana. Rodney Stuckey out there with C.J. Miles. Then it's Roy Hibbert. Then it's Chris Copeland. And it's Rudez in the 3 slot.
I think C.J. McCollum has all the makings of an outstanding combo guard. 6'4", great shooter, capable ball handler. He should be able to play either guard position.
Trailblazers leading by 9. Cashes in for a double-digit lead. McCollum's got 13. Pacers shooting about 33%. Not happy with their play on that end. Here's Hibbert. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. And what do you like about McCollum? He plays bigger, I think, than his height listed.
You know, during his college career at Lehigh, he averaged 6 rebounds a game and competed well defensively against bigger guards. So he's got a little chip that he plays with, which I like.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, there is no doubting LaMarcus Aldridge has emerged as a leader for this Blazers team. As Coach Stott said, this is his team. He's taken the leadership role. He's more vocal, everybody looks up to him, and he has the respect of all the players. And guys, Aldridge is a multiple-time All-Star, but it's the intangibles he's brought that have made all the difference.
Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. Shot clock at 6. Lillard. The 10-footer finds the target.
And he may be the guy to put this game even farther out of reach.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. Well, you got to give the front office a lot of credit with the Pacers for what they put together.
Without question, Kevin. You know, prevailing wisdom in the NBA was that to compete, you needed to either be a big market free agent destination or kind of tank for high draft picks. The Pacers kind of did it their own way, building solidly and steadily through the draft and with smart, shrewd free agent acquisitions. The biggest one being David West a few years back.
Batum attacking. Misses in close.
He's far too tentative in the paint, and even more so when the defender is up tight on him like that time.
The shot by Lillard, wide open. It's good from long range. Lillard's got 5 now.
Well, you can't leave him alone, especially from long range. And the key for the Pacers in constructing this club has been finding terrific value in the draft. Roy Hibbert drafted 17th, Paul George 10th. Even George Hill was acquired for the 15th pick, so very impressive.
Batum attacking.
Man, he slams it home and gets a little camera time on the backside of it.
He spent a while up there on the rim.
Well, I'll tell you what, the refs will give you a lot more leeway on that than they used to.
Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
Take a look at some of the numbers for LaMarcus Aldridge a year ago. 7th in rebounding. And, of course, he was among the best in the league when it came to putting the ball in the basket, in the top 10 in points per game.
And, you know, in terms of his rebounds per game, Steve, it was really a special season for him. He was a tough, physical player on the low block.
The 15-footer. Again, the Trailblazers score.
You know, and looking at the rise of these Pacers, it's hard to overlook the hiring of first-time head coach Frank Vogel, who's done a really nice job in leading that team. I think it all goes back to the front office, taking a team that could have been treading water and not realizing its potential, and then molding and shaping them into a championship contender.
They grab their own miss. Knocks it loose. Batum attacking. Count the bucket. Batum's got his second bucket of the game to go.
They're playing with a purpose, guys. The big lead becoming bigger. I like the look in their eyes.
And it's on both ends that they've been controlling the action.
Here's Miles. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Well, if you're doing enough good things and you're maintaining at least a slight edge on the boards, you're usually going to be in pretty good shape.
Few can argue that Damian Lillard made another leap as a player last year, building off of his great Rookie of the Year campaign and taking it another notch higher.
Free throw good from Lillard. And Lillard last season, between his improvement beyond the arc and from the line, becoming even more, Steve, efficient as a scorer.
Yeah, well, he upped his rate of scoring and rebounding. He cut his turnovers down. He improved defensively. You know, Lillard is not one to rest on his laurels. He is motivated to continue improving year in and year out.
And Portland making a change here. McCollum's checked in. Allen's checked in for Indiana. Well, you wondered how things would go for the Pacers after they had a hiccup mid-season. Had to call a players-only meeting.
It did so very close to the playoffs, Kevin. This team struggled because of its youth in handling the extra scrutiny and the burden of expectations. And it took them a while to kind of figure it out and weren't quite as good as they wanted to be during the playoffs.
Robinson. Lillard outside.
Unreal. Mark it up.
He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
Outside Hill. Here's Allen. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
You know, when the size advantage is that pronounced, I mean, that's exactly what you should do offensively in this situation. Take it strong to the middle.
Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
Here's Sloan. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Portland out in front, running away with it. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third.
Been a big game for McCollum. He has 15 points, and he's done a good job distributing the ball as well.
Well, you can't discount what that's meant to this team. I mean, he's helped their cause with his passing, and it's really given his team a nice groove.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. The forwards are Batum and Thomas Robinson. C.J. McCollum out there with Steve Blake. And it's Kaman in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group on the floor for Portland. And it's good. 6 points for Robinson.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. White's checked in. And Miles kicks to Hill. The dish now to Sloan. The 11-footer rejected by Robinson.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding department too, Clark.
Yeah, it's been a really gritty performance. They'll have some bruises to show for it, but that's the way it should be. You should feel that you've competed when you do that work inside.
You know, the height difference there is huge, but he canceled it out with great body control in the air.
Exactly, Steve. He got to the hoop and wouldn't allow himself to be manhandled by the big boy.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Well, Steve, without a doubt, the biggest surprise, especially early on last season, was the dominant play of the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, a team that had been projected to fight for a playoff spot was instead one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the West all season long.
And the basket by McCollum.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
So Portland ends up going with the new group.
A chance here, Kevin, to check out how the Trailblazers ranked in the NBA last season. First in rebounding, first in free throw percentage. And they also showed up in the top 5 in overall offense. This team has no trouble scoring the basketball. That's the least of their concerns. They love to get it up and down and put it in the hole.
But when you think about this club, the first thing that comes to mind is their ability to rebound the ball. Best in the league, so physical. They just pounded the glass, and that's how they tried to win games, just by being more physical than their opponents.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Portland, not the biggest market, but it's a one-team city, and these fans really support their Blazers. Coach Stott said, the fan support here is special. You can't appreciate it until you see it every night. Damian Lillard said, the fans stay behind us through good or bad. When they see us in public, it's always love.
They appreciate that support, Doris. Thanks. So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And, you know, one of the things I think that was key for the Blazers was they addressed their 2 biggest issues, depth and interior defense. Robin Lopez gave them that paint protection and rebounding, and they completely overhauled their bench. 6 of their 14 roster spots changed hands.
Chris Copeland's checked in for Indiana. And stolen by Aldridge. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And the jam by Nicholas Batum.
Boy, the prettiest play in basketball to me. Executed to perfection.
I don't think you're going to get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop.
Well, unless you're the team getting dunked on, of course.
Portland's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the 3-point shot tonight. Nobody near Lillard. And again, it's Portland converted.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That'll be his second foul of the game. Indiana making some changes. Mahimi comes in for Roy Hibbert. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for C.J. Miles.
Such a solid performance for them inside. The rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today. You know, the dunks are few and far between for the big guy, but every once in a while we get one just like that.
It's not hard to believe that kind of size might keep you from being a high flyer.
Yeah, that's a lot of man right there to try to get up off the ground, Kevin.
Allen's checked in for Luis Scola. And stolen by Aldridge. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Boy, they've been so sound offensively in the second half. I love the way they're playing.
Yeah, there's really no comparison.